You could break it down into two people. There's the people who are working hard, and there's the people who are hardly working. Just got done with doing a couple curls, trying to get a good pump going into the show. Excited for tonight's show. We are excited. Wave to everyone here. We're excited to have everyone joining us. Excellent. Very good. And every day. Thank you, Steph. Corey. Favorite mindset trainer. Appreciate that. Thank you all for joining us. Great stuff. We're pumped to have Steve Rivera on here. I see he's jumped on. Elite Wrestling. Let's bring him in. There he is. Connecting, waiting. And we're in. What's going on?
Hey, man. How are you?
Good. Looking good. Going short on top.
I did. I took it off. I haven't done it in like decades, but being stuck in the house like this and doing the things and working out and whatnot, I was like, you know what? Let's try it. My wife shaved it. I was like, all right, cool.
Nice. Yeah, my wife's got to give me a
point that I'm hoping it will come back. So we'll see. That won't be forever, you know?
Yeah. How's everything been? How's your family?
Everybody's good, man. You know, we're fortunate where we really, honestly, down here, it's not maybe like I haven't really met many people that have run into the COVID thing, you know. It's like in North Jersey, Middlesex. So around here, it's been kind of isolated, and we're fortunate in that sense. But we've been holding down, staying in the house, and then staying in our group of like just what we do. But yeah, it's not easy for anyone, I'm sure.
Yeah. I'm in the Corona capital now. I'm in Manhattan.
Yeah, right? So, like, do you just stay in? Or?
Pretty much just stay in. Yeah, train inside. I got my dumbbells over here. I was just doing some curls, try to get a little pump for you on the show.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's trying times. And, like, you know, it's funny, us being wrestlers and stuff like that, like these virtual classes that you do for the kids that a lot of us guys are doing. And, man, you got to give credit to these kids and what they love about this game, because those are the torture practices your whole life. And now they're doing them for like 2 months straight with no hand contact, you know, unless you have a sibling you can beat around. But so it's interesting to watch the sport evolve through it, you know?
Yeah. What do you tell your guys to do at this time? What do you tell your club kids to do? What do you tell your son to do?
I think we all know what you got to do. You know, there's a lot of guys at this time of it will say, well, you know, there's guys that aren't doing anything and will do less. And then other guys, the winners that are trying to do the right things, or, you know, this is my time to increase the lead or close the gap. You know what I mean? So with those mental thoughts, I think everybody that teaches wrestling is hopefully sharing that with youth and pushing those kind of things. We talked about today things like you do all day long, but just simple things about goal setting and writing them. And like me, I gave a little story how I had like the guys that I had to wrestle, little pictures on my mirror. So before I go to school, I'd see it. And then I would write in my book, you know, my dream of state champ and all that. So I just reassured it all day long. Like, and then I went to practice and I would work at that goal. And then at night you'd go home and visualize what you're going to do the next day, you know? So I was just giving that story out today. So you're trying to share those, like in this kind of time, I never can sit them all down and them all look at me. We're in the middle of a Zoom kind of thing, Cisco WebEx, and I can yell at them right there, like, Dom, pay attention, you know, like, and we were able to have a great small group talk today, which we were able to hit on a lot of the things that you guys do, which, you know, it's so necessary. I mean, it's so hard to be a champion without doing those things. And I also talked about like balance and categories, and like you not just being a wrestler, you know, being a student and being a good person, and, you know, liking other sports, you know, and doing other things. Like I like to mountain bike a lot. I like to run. I like my dirt bike. I like my street bike. You know what I mean? It's like all those kind of things that I try to show the kids, that balance. I also feel that helps a lot. Like that balance, it kind of puts everything in perspective and nothing over perspective, you know? And with that, I think you can be more focused on the actual passion goal, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds a lot like I remember even back in college. That's what Zeke would tell us too. It's like you want to have active rest. Go for a bike ride, play basketball with your friends. Like, having things that you're doing. So it's not just sport. Wrestling anyway.
No, I agree. And, a lot of the kids that you see that, some of them just aren't mentally ready to handle it. Not that they won't be, but maybe in time they will. But, some of them are just so young, and that pressure where they know they go to the tournament every weekend, and mom and dad, everybody's invested in the travel and the time. And, maybe their career didn't start off great yet. And, it's those kind of things that everybody's got to kind of put into that play of it all. And with this, like the gaps, like that kid that's just a rec kid now, and the club kids getting these other things, it's those kind of gaps that we got to continue to do things like you're doing. Because with the mindset, you have to be able to deal with these variables.
Yeah. That's what we've been saying, that wrestling is just that vehicle to build virtue for your whole life. Like you said, well-rounded, where if you're building virtue, that's going to carry over to school, your personal relationships, your career, friendships, everything pretty much.
Pretty much everything, it seems. I mean, I'm 50 now, man, so I'm like halfway over the hill. I feel like I'm at halftime, you know what I mean?
No, you look great. You look the same as when I first met you.
So, like, I just tell you to keep wrestling then, I tell you, just keep wrestling. But, yeah, like, as you look back, man, that balance is like what's given me the ability to have that love for this sport this long and still want to go in there. Like, I take a beating with Sebastian. I mean, it's not like I get to wrestle there. I mean, when he's being nice, but he's trying to get better, we're getting reps in. And like I tell him, I'll get up every time. Like and I'll be the best partner I can be. But I mean, it's just so at that point, he's a quality high level wrestler. And you start to feel a lot of things, and the best part I feel for me, it challenges me mentally. You know what I mean? Because it's hard to, like I tell Sebastian, I mean, it's not easy to just go in and take a beat for an hour, like it just isn't. But like, and he gets it, and I'm sure it could be worse.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I feel like I'm growing mentally now, like in this stage where you got to be more technical, you got to be more strategic, you got to be more precise. You know what I mean? Because like with these high level guys, you're trying to survive.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna score. It's a matter how long I'm gonna be able to get that off stop. It's not a question. It's how many times and how quick it's gonna happen.
You got to get on top of him and wear him down.
That's where, he's been with it. These are all things. Like, I tell this to people, like a lot of people say, hey, man, what do you guys do? Like, we start off our thing with 100 reps, 10 aside, both sides got to be the same move. You know what I mean? And that's our warm-up. So, like, we're 100 to, you've defended 100 shots now, and you did 100 shots.
Yeah.
And it's like you're 20 minutes in, and he's like, all right, you ready? I'm like, ready for what? Like, and like a lot of things that you didn't notice as a younger man, maybe that I notice more now is the effort it takes to wrestle guys that use setups in everything they do. Yeah. Guys that use grips in everything they do. Like I tell Sebastian, when he does his 100, I have to do 200 because I literally have to react off the first setup. He doesn't do a move without a setup.
Right.
Me, I'm like, bang, bang.
Yeah.
Am I there yet? Other side, boom, boom.
Yeah.
So like I watch that in him, and you're just like, wow. Like I notice these things, and you're just like, every time he's working a grip or working that every time. So that's 100. In a week we're doing 1,000 reps, and you're never going to be perfect at anything, but it feels going to come. You know what I mean?
Right.
It feels going to bring confidence. Confidence is going to give that shot. You're going to give it a go. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So many good things there. Like you're saying, the competence breeds the confidence, right? That's a big deal. Yeah. So getting those reps, and it's important to rep out like that. It seems like that's what all the greats do.
And another thing is that there's not enough guys out there. Well, I'm sure there is, man. I wouldn't even say that. I take that back. Yeah. Somewhere. All right. But what I would say is that there's no reason anyone's righty or lefty anymore. You know, you should be a two-sided wrestler. There's too many good wrestlers out there. If you think you're just going to hit your normal left side high crotch on them every time, and that dude isn't, by the time you get to that upper echelon, you know, like that
Yeah.
lefty righty, and that's in the reps we do. You know, you're looking for consistency in that. And then that brings a whole different mindset to your match, you know?
Yeah, you got to be able to hit both sides. If not not necessarily the same move, but have a shot to each side.
No, 100%. And I just feel like if you're doing the reps, there's no reason you wouldn't get every move, you know, similar. You might be better at the other side,
Yeah.
but so like and you always stick with the fundamentals first. So you're hitting the normals anyway, like that off the go. But yeah, it's the evolution of wrestling. You gotta love it, man. And you know, the kids have more resources, like guys like you guys, all the great club guys out there, all the great high school coaches out there. You know what I mean? And now the
Yeah.
girls into the game. I feel like the girls are adding a spice, like a kick in the butt to wrestling, which is just so awesome. Like just an extra life in there, like more hungry wrestlers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's going to only make it now. I think that will push both sides, the boys and girls.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I remember we first came together. I first met you, I think it was 2001 going into 2002. It was at Gene Lazark State Champ Camp. So that was darn near 20 years ago now.
Yeah, and Gene too. I see him around. It's so funny. Like I got the old kids. These guys are going through all the youth stuff now, you know.
Yeah.
And you get to watch all these dads parent, and it's just great to see, man. You know, they like everybody thinks that the club people would be crazy, but in all honesty, the dads see it and the moms know it, and you know they do a great job with what they're doing, and I can't wait to watch the next rounds. I see Mel Conico's kid out there wrestling in the garage, you know. I see Frankie Edgar's kid coming up. You know, I'm looking forward to the future of watching all these dudes.
Yeah, that's awesome. Does he live close to you still, Frankie?
Yeah, we're like within 10 miles of each other here in Tom's River. We're both in Tom's River.
That's great. So his son comes over there and trains there with you.
Yeah,
That's phenomenal.
I mean, Tom's River, he's like part in there with me. He's in there all the time. He's really a great addition to like just the coaching that we have because he's such a down to earth guy that he can sit with a kid and the kid sees him on TV and they're like, what the? And then they go and see him at practice. It's the same guy, you know. It allows. It kind of shows anyone what humble is, I guess, you know.
Yeah, no, definitely. He's always been that way. He's always been the same kind of guy, straight through his whole life. Just a good guy.
And it's got to have that balance, though, because somewhere in there's got to be not cocky, but a confidence that is.
Yeah.
It's hard to hide when you have that type of championship quality of you. You know,
Yeah.
They're so competitive. They're so this. They're so that. So to be able to buffer that is what the talent is, and the people that are able to do that. You know, and as we're trying to build champions all the time, you know, I'm guilty trying to kids believe how great they are, and then it's that balance of trying to show them that humbleness and they're in your greatness, which is it's hard to sell in today's social media world, you know.
Yeah, big time. We try to make that distinction between confidence and cockiness, and we say confidence is all about you being able to get the job done. It doesn't have anything to do with other people. Cockiness has everything to do with other people. It's me compared to you. So if you look good, that means I look bad. If I look bad, that means you look good. So it's all about me beating you as opposed to confidence is I'm capable of getting the job done. And if you happen to be in my way, so be it. That's what we try to make the distinction.
And it's great. That's a great distinction. You know what I mean? And the kids, it's a hard thing for a young adult or a kid that's a sub-adult to comprehend that when mom and dad, grandma, and everybody else is telling them how great they're doing, the trophies showing them, their poster boards showing them that, you know. So this is why the sport is so great, man. And people like you guys in our great state of Jersey, we have so many great wrestling people in it. You know, the kids are fortunate. I grew up as a Jersey wrestler, and you know, White Tower was there at the end at JP, like at your guys, right?
Yeah,
JP Stevens, and that was like far for us. So it's not like you ever got to really go there. You know what I mean? Edge was just getting started. I mean, I wrestled with Monica, Ernie, like not Ernie, but Carl and Pete Gonzalez. They were at Montclair when I was at Trent State. So like, you know, the Edge is going right during that time, and then Miles comes right after that. You know, so we've been so fortunate in this state to have it, and then like great guys out there. You know, another great guy that I didn't mention in my last interview was Steve Filippi. and Danny Hill.
Yeah,
I'm losing power here. Hold on.
no problem. Yeah, they're
All
my
right,
teammates,
so
the Rockers.
yeah, no doubt. Like they're another group that in the last thing I went in, and then when I got off done, I was like, wow, those guys, like because they do. Donnie's got the daddy thing going, and the club guy. It's not an easy balance, and he does a great job of it. And then he has that great support staff around him that lets him reinforce those great concept and values that we see them carrying already. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to get that shout out to those guys too because I felt
Oh,
good.
definitely. No, they're great guys. My two teammates.
You guys had it, at Rutgers, like everywhere. You've had everything. Like you've had an incredible like journey with your wrestling, and now where you travel around and get to talk to and motivate, like probably people that you like looked up to or maybe
Yeah, oh yeah,
found
yeah.
motivation in. It's got to be a great full circle for you.
No, it's awesome because when I think about even when we put together the mindset program, I mean, okay, you have sports psychology, you have personal experience, and that's the personal experience. There is like listening to you and Gene Lazark and the Rutgers years and the Penn years, and you say, okay, well, how do we take this like scientific field and make it right down to earth and practical for wrestlers? So it's an exciting thing to do.
It's amazing. It was a great, thinking outside the box at first there. It was like not taking, come on, let's at
Yeah,
first you guys, it was a hard sell, and then people start to really realize how much these champions minds
yeah.
are three, like a good percentage of why they're so great.
Right,
I
right.
mean?
Right,
And
and we were spoiled with New Jersey because man, when we have about 60 people who work with us around the country, and we tell them we're like, yeah, just go hit the clubs in your state, and they're like, well, what clubs? Like it's an hour for a club or 2 hours, and I'm like, man, we were spoiled because I could think within an hour of my house, we probably had like 10, 15 clubs,
yeah,
good clubs,
and
good
yeah,
clubs.
and still like out there, and now you have like the individual trainee guys because a lot of people have their own dojos for their kids. So now you could just be a trainer and show up at the house and do things like that. There's just a lot of wrestling opportunity in this state. So
Yeah,
it's good. It's great. And there's all people like you guys and the Ernies and everybody else and Miles that were thinking outside the box that, other guys will follow into the future as I have. And the next guy behind you guys will, and the guys that are on the side of you now. And
yeah,
all we can do is hope that eventually we can build a resource for these kids that we
yes,
are actually have proven the best.
yeah, yeah.
The
And I remember
Jersey.
I remember hearing you say the same thing a few years ago. I think we were at Apex. I think you brought Sebastian over there. They were doing a big like expo day or whatever. And you're like, yeah, I just want my kids to get better, and I want my son to get better. So it was like let's just bring everyone together. It's
Yeah.
because it's a shame when
Apex
you have those
kills it.
rivalries. Yeah,
Yeah, Apex. What a great, Damien, and now they have Coop there. I mean, it's anything you could ask for. So yeah, that's what I mean. These things like everywhere. It's unbelievable for the kids.
yeah.
And hopefully at the end of this, like, have you put much thought into how this like could be like wrestling after
Wrestling after what? What do you mean?
COVID?
Oh, after? Yeah, we're gonna see how that goes.
Right. I
Yeah.
think the first step will probably be. I've been like kind of thinking how I would feel comfortable, having you come to my place, and
Gonna be tough. Virtual. That's why now, like, we've been trying to build up the virtual. I never learned how to do an Instagram live before, like 3 or 4 weeks ago, and now we're doing them all the time because we're like, we got to do something else. We got to come up with something.
yeah. But the kids enjoy it. It gives them something to do at home, and like they come on every day to see me boring them.
Yeah.
So, but like I think even the next step would probably be where we probably could go in limited size clubs in the virtual practice, maybe no hands on at first, but
Yeah.
someone leading class from the front and like smaller, like 20%, no more like body on body type rooms, I guess.
Yeah. You're right,
That
because
was
especially wrestling. Wrestling is like the most like the closest contact of all sports. So it's yeah.
what I think would be real cool about this though?
Yeah.
I'm into the mind torture stuff, like as far as the heat in the room. Like every kid has to wear a mask at practice now. And how that bugs you out, man. You know what I mean? You ever wear one of those training masks?
I just got when I didn't put it together that it's not actually filtering the air. All it's doing is it's lowering your oxygen.
Yeah,
I've tried.
I wore. Yeah, but you could cut like a K9
Yeah,
and put it inside there. That's what I did to mine at first.
yeah,
But the harder thing is people can't hear you because it's so thick. You can't hear, you can't talk, so you end up lifting it up.
yeah.
But everybody like now is wearing the thinner ones, and just that little bit over your face. If
It
you were
makes a
working out,
difference. I
right?
run with I run with the mask. It's like that's a pain in the neck.
Heck yeah. That mask, I can't even make it the mile. I tried running like a 5K for it. The first mile I made it, I was dying with that thing on.
Yeah. Well, the Native Americans, the way they used to train, they used to drink a little bit of water. They used to hold it in their mouth, and they would jog for like a mile with the water in their mouth, just to like get them to breathe better through their nose and stuff.
Yeah, that's
For a guy with
dedication.
allergies, I don't like restricting my breathing. I don't like mouthpieces. I don't like hot rooms. I don't like any of that. I don't mind the hard work, but I don't like restricting
I
my
hear
breathing.
you. Yeah, that's like one of the scary things is like suffocating. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That and fire would be like the two things I would not want to. If I had choice of dying, those would be the two I wouldn't want. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. No,
So
it's a strange time we're living in, but like we say, the being positive, being resilient, and seeing opportunity during adversity. You nailed it. Exactly what I've been saying to people. It's building the gap on people who you're better than, and it's closing the gap on the people who are ahead of you.
yeah. And there's always someone getting better. So it's no
Yeah.
way you're just like sitting in there like, oh, I'm better than everyone. I mean, that's, you know, like if you are, you're just got issues, you know? But
Yeah.
yeah, so like I think a lot of kids see that. I think, a lot of them, like you say, they want to work with people. So it's hard to be motivated by yourself, you know? But
Yeah.
those are the things in wrestling, it's only in dark rooms and then the glory comes with the bright lights,
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
it's part of the gig,
That's it. So we tell people, just get creative, find a way. Like
Yeah.
exactly what we're doing. It's like, let's just pump out value while we can, because what else? What else
Yeah.
is there? It's this.
Yeah.
There's the virtual, like you said, the virtual training. You get 100 people in a room and 100 different places. Been doing that. We've been working with teams. It's different because everyone's not together. Everyone's isolated.
I hear you. And do you feel you still kind of you're able to get your message across though, because you
Yeah.
guys have such a great curriculum broken down for people to actually follow, and it's really a great thing for the kids and the guys that I know that have gone through your system. It's definitely, let's be honest, there's some people, no matter who they talk to, they're going to struggle with confidence. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
It is what it is, But
Yeah.
there is some people that learn these tools and these skills at an age that they put them into play, and then they are building their own mindset the rest of their way, So
Yeah.
you guys are giving out a great tool here, and yeah, it's just a great tool for people to have and have that opportunity to, because the mindset matters, and it separates
Yeah.
first and second, third and fourth.
Yeah. And you could see it in a guy's face when they're out there and they just really believe they could win. Not that they're necessarily focused on winning, but they're like, I can get the job done. And if you're in front of me, I could get the job done right now.
You
And
see it in their body language, and
Yeah.
their aggression, their grips, their head position, their ability to try to create the opportunity. I love that. When do you see that? The best semifinals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That, like a semifinals, and like I am fortunate enough to go to the Big Tens and watch this stuff. I mean, my whole life I've never had. We're in Jersey, and we just didn't have that out here.
Yeah.
And we had great wrestlers come through and all that stuff. It just didn't. And Ryder's always done and Rutgers. They always, Princeton is the new thing, in which they've done a tremendous job. TCJ's always done good stuff. Montclair at the time, Kane at the time, but it's to bring the Big Ten to Jersey is like a dream come true.
Level up.
Right? It's like and to be able to watch these competitors in the semis and see the separation of that.
Yeah.
It's just priceless for our kids, our Jersey kids. I think I know it's priceless as a fan and someone that's trying to teach your kid, but for our kids to actually know it, feel it, and sit in the rack or Ryder and Princeton and watch that kid win and know them, because most of us know each other in Jersey. Yeah. Special times in wrestling right now in Jersey, man.
Definitely. And even with the rise of Penn State and Cale Sanderson, people are coming out east.
Yeah.
They're not going Midwest as people are coming more east towards us.
Yeah, and I think it's only going to get better now, because UPenn is doing a great job with the RTC there now, so that's going to attract recruits that are going to want to train, and yeah, they're just all those kind of things. I think in this area we're on this, in the NJRTC. I mean, Reese and that squad, those guys are doing a great job. You know what I mean? Getting our name out there worldwide. And I guess in the USA Wrestling side of thing is the stuff that we probably got to get a little bit better at in Jersey. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think, well, they're walking in that direction. You got a lot of new blood in there, a lot of new young guys and young women, and you have the girls included now, and have all those kind of things that seem to be going in a good direction.
Yeah.
So hopefully, as we could get more and more of that in there, we can get into more of the competitions, the kids going out there winning the juniors, and then, from there moving on to the Olympic stuff. Even in my own kid, and, it's the kids don't have, a lot of the kids don't have that, maybe that Olympic dream, because in Jersey, you don't really see a lot of, like with Frank Molinaro is like our first and real guy that you're like, wow, we all know him. That's sick,
Yeah.
Like, kudos to you, Frank, and that's I feel like we could build on that forever now.
Yeah.
We need to stay diligent and focused on what we're really trying to do. We have some world team members now that really can get a run into this game,
Yeah. No, absolutely. That would be big, building that up. And we've always hit it hard in freestyle, I feel like.
Yeah,
Always.
I feel like we but like in Fargo we struggle a little bit, and in the duels Illinois is always winning, and it's those things like that we know we're good enough, but we don't always get our great Jersey. Like if you have a top three, we might get the 4 guy, we might get the 3 guy. It's rare we get the 1s all the way down, and that's where like Pennsylvania and these other guys, they do a good job of getting through the politics of that, which I don't know how they do it. Unless it's a dictatorship, I have no idea. But they get 1s on 1s, and that makes a crazy team, like Kong and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think as we have the guys, I feel like we need our USA leadership and all that to continue doing what they're doing, and everybody kind of pushing towards that.
Yeah. Well, any way we could help with that, any way we could,
Yeah, me too. I always talk about it, right? I talk for Dickman and those guys. I kind of stepped out. I'm really a busy guy in my regular life. A lot of people don't realize I do wide area networks, cellular networks. And I have a couple carriers that keep me real busy during the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I did the time I could there, and I'm always an advocate for New Jersey wrestling. So anytime I still get tons of questions and like calls for USA Wrestling, and I answer them. The web page that I list the wrestling tournaments.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks they're my tournaments, so I get like all the calls. And I'm like, no, you gotta click on the link, and I'm like, well, what's your question? I'll try helping you though.
That's awesome. Now you've always been like that, so that's been the consistency straight through. So yeah, obviously New Jersey wrestling, thanks you, and the wrestling world in general.
Yeah, all of us, man. We all just got to keep doing what we're doing and enjoying it, and try to create the opportunities for the kids. Because look how many of our kids, like, just think now, but back in your time, who went to college and wrestled, and now think of the time.
Yeah, it's nuts.
A lot of people now.
Yeah.
Back then, it was so rare, Like,
it was.
And most of the guys that went didn't stay on the teams. They found, like, social lives, and they were like, damn.
That's true. That's
right?
true.
That's
right.
So today, to see the New Jersey wrestlers out there nationwide, really, I mean,
that's right.
You know what I mean? And
Division 1, 2, 3, all of them. Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty awesome.
That's a really good point, because you're right. We did not see that, and that was even back in 2000, 2002.
Yeah. Like even me, like I look out there just from like the last couple of years, and you got like Cole Corrigan, Joe Manchio, Fitz, Sebastian, when all these guys still wrestling and they're doing it. You know what I mean? And it's just so awesome to see. And then you see the other kids from the other clubs come home, and they're loving it, and they're doing good things. So Jersey wrestling, I feel like we're in a good place, man. We just gotta keep doing it.
That's it. So let's keep doing it.
Yeah, that's it.
Where can people find more information from you? Web pages, everything, social media.
Yeah, Elite Wrestling NJ is me in the club in Toms River. We have Elite Wrestling TR too. on Instagram. Those are our active ones. Twitter, we're out there at Elite Wrestling. Facebook, not so much. And yeah, just those like Instagram, Twitter, the ones I spend most of my time on, just like most of the kids. I don't do the Snapchat or TikTok or Tech. I watch my kids though, man. You know, my son's 21 now, my daughter's 19, and I watch all this stuff. It cracks me up. It's funny.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I hope everyone follows you, checks out all your pages. Obviously, you've always been big influence. Me, my brothers, and all New Jersey wrestlers. Everyone
I
says good things
appreciate
about
that,
Steve
man.
Rivera. Absolutely.
Yeah, well,
So
you
thanks.
keep doing. You guys, you know, wrestling needs people like you guys in it, man. Spreading the good word. So keep doing what you're doing. All right. Stay safe
You
out
too.
there.
You too. All right. Take care, Steve. We'll
Take
see you.
care. Bye.